Hello everyone. I'm very, very sorry for being so late. Let's just say I'm not having a good day. The plan was studying some anatomy, but honestly, right now, I just need to relax. So, we are going to do some Zentangles. If that's alright. I've also decided to remove the chat from the screen because I find it a bit distracting. I can still see your messages, so I hope that's all right. Okay. Let me just do a few things and then we'll get started. Right. I'm just looking at some patterns and see what I'm going to do today. I want nothing too complicated, but I also want it to be pretty. Anyway, how's your day been? Hopefully better than mine. It's not that my day went particularly horrible, it's just some things just, you could be in a pretty decent mood and one specific thing happens and it just brings the whole thing down. And I really wish that didn't happen. But unfortunately it does. It's rather difficult to just choose a pattern. It's that sort of thing that you just need to get on with it. But I'll take a few more reference images just in case. All right. Let's have a look. All right. Let's see how this pencil is. Maybe not. No. It's very pressure sensitive. And you? No. Okay, this one. What do I start with? Just random lines. Let's do, I think, circles. As you can tell, my circles are incredible. Like, if I do it fast. I know this is the kind of thing that you practice. And it's good drawing practice. When you're stressed like this, does it help you when you draw Zentangles? Do you even draw Zentangles to begin with? I always found it very stress relieving. I don't know, probably the repetition. That's what I think. I want to place the next one in a very specific place. So. Make it bigger. Okay. I think I'm going to fill all the areas without circles in black, like full black. I mean, if they let me. Less. All right. is a simple pattern to start with? What patterns did I do on the previous live stream? Alright, that one's not bad. Where do I put it though? It will have to be somewhere. A circle that I can see fully, but a bit bigger. Maybe this one. Yeah. All right. By the way, did any of you see the news that tabletop game they were attempting to make for the new Tomb Raider that doesn't like to raid tombs? They just cancelled it. That makes my day better. Why, you ask? Because they butchered my favorite Tomb Raider character, Amanda Everett. Yes, I know, it's not Lara. I don't dislike Lara. I'm also really angry with what they did to Lara, but you know, Amanda, she's not even a very well liked character by the fans. Like, I think only I and a handful of other people actually like Amanda. I think she's very cool, but hey. But all that to say, they butchered her design. And this has actually already... They have been doing that since Tomb Raider Underworld. Because, for those of you who've played it, if you remember, in Tomb Raider Legend, Amanda was dressed very, well, to put it more easily, very, well, now I missed the word. What was the word I was trying to find? She wore very revealing clothes, right? Fine. Even more so than Lara, actually. And, you know, not to mince words, She was really hot. And she had a pretty face as well. And then in Tomb Raider Underworld, suddenly it's like she had plastic surgery that went wrong or something. And her clothes are nowhere near as gothic or sexy. And as much as I hate to say it, she's not pretty. She's just not pretty in that game. And yes, it bothers me. But fine, I at least felt certain in my ignorance that because she's such a not loved character of the franchise that I thought they would leave her be. I thought they would just leave her alone. But no, they couldn't do that. Instead of leaving poor Amanda alone, what do? They take her, they ruin her design further, and then they try to put her in this woke nonsense tabletop game that I'm so glad was cancelled. I don't understand this mentality of making female characters ugly. I just don't understand. And don't tell me it's feminism. Because if this is feminism, are you telling me women want to be portrayed as generally hideous? Because as a woman, I'm telling you right now, that is not how I want to be represented. I want female characters to be beautiful, bigger than life. Right? I want them to be awesome. I want them to be intelligent, but not at the expense of the stupidity of the male characters. And I want them to be feminine. And this is coming from a woman who is not that feminine. I'm really not. You will not see me in a dress anytime soon. It's just... And then there's this nonsense about the male gaze. And these women are being, they were made for the male gaze, to appeal to the male gaze. And these new female characters appeal more to the female gaze. No, they don't. They certainly don't appeal to me. Again, speaking as a woman who's into women. No. No. That is nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. It's something that reminds me, for example, like that Harley Quinn film that came out, where Harley was, I mean, it's Margot Robbie, she's very pretty. But the way she was dressed, I swear, it's as though they got into that meeting and just went, okay, how do we make Harley Quinn unappealing? Because if you look at her wardrobe, the clothes she wears, to put it very bluntly, it looks like someone threw up on her. Yeah, I said it. It does. The colors clash. It just, they don't go well together. The style of the clothing is not great. It looks completely different when compared to her Suicide Squad outfit. Which, unpopular opinion, I actually liked Suicide Squad. Was it a great film? No. Was it fun? Yes, it was. It was very, very fun. And I'll die on the hill that Suicide Squad was nowhere near as bad as people like to say it is. It looks cool. It's got a good soundtrack. It's well filmed, in my opinion. But yes, speaking of unappealing female characters, visually unappealing, actually not just visually, also in personality-wise. There's being smug, and then there's being I'm not going to say it, right? And female characters don't deserve this. Like, I'm a writer, and I've always loved writing female characters. It doesn't come from a sexist place that I don't like writing men. Absolutely not. That's not the case. It's just, there's something about the mixture of the beauty of women, the inherent beauty of women, and how delicate we can look when contrasted with how brutal we can be. I find that incredibly appealing, very appealing. And, my Apple Pencil Pro is, I thought I charged it. Well, let's just speak for a bit. All right. Please charge. Yes. All right. Female characters. What is wrong with writers these days? I don't understand. I don't. And tell me exactly, especially if you're listening to this, if you're a feminist, this is a genuine question. Like, really, please consider it. Tell me exactly what is feminist about making women behave like men. Because from my perspective, that is very anti-femininity, anti-woman, right? The erasure of what makes women women, of what makes us different from men, to me, it's like you're trying to erase those beautiful traces that make us different. And really, it's our differences that make us interesting. I will never be able to understand how anyone can rationalize erasing the femininity of a female character and calling it feminist. Because to a point, and I don't call myself a feminist, but some time ago I did. Because I thought, I thought feminist was about empowering women so that we could be treated equally. But nowadays, it's about putting men down and trying to make sure that women have more rights than men. Now, I'm sorry, but that's unfair, right? I don't think I need to say this, but it seems like I do. It's unfair. Man or woman, both are human. We need to coexist. We are at our best when we work together. It's always been like that. It will always be like that. Look at all the societies that are thriving, that have thrived in the past, that will thrive in the future. The ones that thrive right now. Why do you think certain parts of the planet aren't doing so well as, Europe? At least as well as we were doing. We are still doing pretty well. But, the days are counted. But I digress. The best places to live on Earth right now are the places where we value the input of men and women. It's always a winning solution to choose to work together. And when I talk about the erasure of femininity, I'm not talking about, not having female characters wearing pink and little bows in their hair and dresses and cute stuff. I think, especially these days, we have concluded well enough that dresses and makeup do not a woman make. Even because, actually, things such as makeup, high heels in specific, when they came out, were exclusive for men. They were extremely masculine. They were created to make, to define the muscles of the leg of rich men. It's a sign of vigor and masculinity. So it has nothing to do with what you wear. Not really. It has nothing to do with how you paint your face or if you choose to keep it bare. It has to do with the way you behave, the way you think. No matter how you twist it, the fact remains, men and women are slightly different. Right? Men are much more physical. And I'm sorry, guys, as much as I know that the great lot of you, right, are very logical, and I appreciate that. I myself am a very logical woman. The fact remains that you are a bit deficient on the emotional part. And it's always been this way because it makes sense from an evolutionary point. It makes sense. You need to analyze people, keeping in mind that you are analyzing just another species, just another animal species. We are nothing more. We are animals. As much as we hate to think about it, at least it seems to me that some people hate the fact that they are animals, that doesn't erase the fact that we are. And we have evolved in ways that, when you look at our behavior to this day, it makes perfect sense. It just does. It's why, say like things such as effeminate men. Like the typical stereotype, which is a stereotype if anyone is still questioning it, of the feminine gay man. A lot of gay men are quite masculine. But the effeminate ones, why is it? Why do you think they don't come across as female? Why do you think it looks so off? There's a reason for that. And again, if you are an effeminate gay man, please do not take this personally. I have nothing against you. Like I said, look, I will never consider myself part of the alphabet people. I once did, because I'm that one little letter that everyone ignores. The third one. And everyone likes to pretend, oh, that doesn't exist. Oh, you're just insecure, unsure. You are a lesbian in the closet. You're actually straight. Please, spare me. So, please don't take it personally. I'm talking in a very general way. Each individual will be exactly that individual, an individual case. And so, coming back to this, female characters, I hate that this idea of women are ugly, real women are ugly and hideous. I hate this. And I don't understand how anyone who loves women could ever enjoy seeing such a thing. Think about any other group, and I mean any other group, being represented as ugly and devoid of the tributes that make them what they are. And I'm sorry, but if there's one thing that I have known ever since I was a very young girl, is that women are bloody beautiful. Are there ugly women? Yes. But I will tell you right now, they are not the majority. And I don't surround myself with supermodels. I am far from being one myself. My goodness. I'm not even a tenth of one. Normal, real life women are beautiful. And seeing women be represented, like having this idea that real, normal women are actually hideous. Because that's the thing, they are not making these women, not that beautiful. They are making them deliberately ugly. Right? I'm sure you could look at the most beautiful woman you can think of, and they probably have one or two features that aren't considered beautiful. Right? It doesn't matter. Nobody's perfect. But you will notice that woman is still beautiful. Even though she has this, I don't know, for example, something that these days is not considered attractive in women is that so-called the Greek nose, right? People go like, oh, petite and pointy, tiny noses are more feminine. I will confess, I am partial to those as well. But have you or have you not seen women with that Greek nose that are stunning? And they make it work for them. Are they ugly? No, they are not. They aren't. I would love for this nonsense to stop. because it's hideous. And I'm not talking about the characters right now. I mean what's being done to female characters is hideous. It's just ugly. To give people this idea, or try to give, people this idea that real women aren't beautiful. I hate it. I bloody hate it. And what's most stunning, like, if I'm not mistaken, one that is very well known, I believe it's the Fable 3 female character. Right? Have you looked at the model that gave the character her face? She's really cute. She looks very, very good. She's pretty. They took a really cute, pretty young woman and they distorted her face to the point where, my God, I hope the model has a very good idea of what she looks like and ignores that 3D model of her butchered likeness, because you can see lights of the model, but it's just that, lights. And they distorted her face just enough so that while it's recognizable, instead of cute, she looks the way she does. It's just that. I hope this pencil is a bit more charged. How much charge do you have? Oh, it is. My God, this is very fast. Or maybe I've just talked too much. Yes, that's definitely one. Right, now that I've talked your ear off, I will keep doing so. Worry not. Oh my God, but really, like, what they did with Amanda. The first time I saw it, which is when they actually announced the tabletop game, I was livid. I was so angry. My friend Jay was just like, "Oh yeah, I can feel it through the screen, through the text." Because oh my God, like, this isn't just my favorite Tomb Raider character. Amanda is one of my favorite characters of all time. And just seeing her destroyed like this, it hurt. But it didn't hurt me as much as it made me angry. It made me angry that because they could have left her alone. I actually doubt many people even remember her name. They probably don't. I imagine some of them might have even thought that she was a new character, even though she was right next to Jonah, who is from the new trilogy of, the Tomb Raider, who doesn't like to tomb and to raid tombs. Oh my god, it's so ridiculous. How is it possible, right? Now, at the meeting they must have had of the first installment of the most recent Tomb Raider trilogy, how did no one respond to the suggestion of having Lara Croft saying, "Oh, I hate tombs"? How did no one say, "But you're kidding, right? That's a joke, yes"? How? And if someone actually said it, I mean, first of all, I imagine they were fired. Because that's what happens when you have opposing opinions. Unfortunately. And then this nonsense, this absolute nonsense about trying to paint Lara as a racist, colonialist. Oh, so bad. Oh, horrible. I'm sorry. What? This is a Tomb Raider. You know what? You know what a Tomb Raider does, right? Lara Croft was never the hero type. Toby Gard describes her best when he calls her a polite killer. Lara is not a good person. She's not someone who you would want to be friends with. Even because if you actually take a look at the source material, she doesn't actually have friends. She works alone. That's how she likes it. It's just... Please stop destroying female characters. Especially ones that are so beloved. I would really appreciate it. If you just stopped, you know? I don't even know who I am trying to appeal to. But just do it. And something about this actually makes me really afraid. Oh, what's going on? Because Sony has been doing a lot of that. And another female character that I absolutely adore is actually the protagonist of a PlayStation exclusive game. the protagonist of Primal, Jennifer Tate, better known as Jen, just Jen. I grew up with Jen. Like, I love that character to death. And I'm terrified. I'm genuinely terrified because now that I've seen, like, Amanda was less popular than Jen. And I doubt anyone knows what I'm talking about. I doubt anyone actually knows who Jen is. But I assure you, she is more popular than Amanda Everett. And they still took Amanda and butchered her. Now imagine, now I know I was talking about Sony, but I'm no longer talking about it. And now I'm talking about it again. Welcome to my ADHD brain. It's a party. But yes, if they go far enough to destroy an unpopular character, such as Amanda, imagine, Jen doesn't stand a chance. And right now, I'm thinking that it's only a matter of time until I see what once was a dream of mine to see either a remake or a sequel to Primal. And I'm mildly terrified. I am mildly terrified that any day now, I'm going to see the announcement for a new Primal game. And it's going to be exactly what you can expect from Sony as of late. And I'm not even ashamed to say it. I am going to cry. I'm going to cry bitter tears. Because they won't do her justice. They don't love her. What's going on? Hey. Oh, come on now. What's wrong with you? I mean, they have destroyed Kratos. And don't get me wrong, I think the first game of this new God of War was rather good. At least I liked it. But the second one, Ragnarok, let's just not talk about it, right? From the erasure of Scandinavian history, and yes, I will say erasure, because if anyone dared to betray, I don't know. Let's go to South America. If anyone dared to betray Pachamama, as blue-eyed, blonde, pale skin person, they would, like, people would rightfully so be angry, right? But because it's Norse mythology, white mythology, right? Somehow that's acceptable now. The double standards. Do you ever wonder if these people whose pastime is to call others racist, do you think they ever realize that, they are actually the ones who are really racist? Or are they just in complete denial? Probably the second, huh? Probably. Okay. Okay, we're almost done with the circle. Like, take for example a female character that just so happens to be a badass. Ellen Ripley. Do you think Ellen Ripley is masculine? I mean, personally, I don't think so. Maybe some people would disagree. Personally, I don't think she's masculine. Take another character who is also a really physically strong and capable woman, Trinity from The Matrix. I've had people say, oh, Trinity is really masculine. She isn't. You know why? Trinity does very typically feminine things. She takes Neo his food when he's like passed out because he's so tired. Trinity dresses nicely and tries to beauty herself up for Neo. She is also very caring. Whenever he needs emotional support, she's there. She's always there. Trinity is very feminine. She doesn't dress feminine. Maybe she doesn't even look all that feminine. But she is undeniably feminine. And it's one thing that I'm glad wasn't erased about her character in The Matrix Resurrections. because, given certain things that have happened, I think she was in very serious danger of being butchered as well. But she was not. And I'm very glad she wasn't. I'm really glad she wasn't destroyed. Yeah, I think I don't hate the Matrix Resurrections anywhere near as much as most people. Probably because when I went into that film with certain expectations, and honestly, most of them were met. I will tell you things that really disappointed me. I think the fighting choreography was atrocious. It was horrible. And given that it was a Matrix film, the one thing that should remain mind-blowing and cool, it should be the combat. And it wasn't. And that, to me, is a big negative. But, and this is why I think I don't hate the Matrix Resurrections nearly as much as most people do, I went into the film, and did I want it to be a good old Matrix film? Yes. But I also wanted it to confirm something that I've been telling people all this time and no one listens to me, that the sixth version of the One wasn't Neo. It was Neo and Trinity. Does it take some magic out of the romance? Yes, of course it does. Why? Because their love, the attraction they have for one another, was manufactured by the Oracle. Right? Because she wanted to see what would happen if the anomaly loved something more than, humanity itself. What would happen? And so she found a way to split it. What am I going to do now? I don't know. Oh, that looks good. Okay, I've got it. Yeah. So I felt very vindicated. When my theory was confirmed. I was like, yeah, I knew it. I bloody knew it. So I was happy about that. Also, I think Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss work really well together. I don't think he's a good actor. But for some reason, I think it's that kind of thing when you work with some people, they just elevate you somehow. And honestly, I've never seen him act better than when he's on screen with Carrie-Anne Moss. And it's, it was a pleasure to see them together again. I think we were robbed of some extra kisses. But it was good. It is a pity though that the film was not great. I do still watch it every once in a while. It has become a sort of comfort film for some reason. Like, don't ask me how. I don't know. It just has. It just became a sort of comfort film. I've been thinking a lot about my stories, the ones that I've been put on hold for so long because I just can't bring myself to finish them. And you know when you know that you're actually good at something, but you just don't care about anything anymore. Like all the interests you've ever had just, it's like, it's not like, it's exactly like that. They just stopped being relevant and you were kind of left with nothing else. That's where I am. It's very difficult to find something to live for. And then the less you do, the more like a failure you feel. And it's just a vicious cycle. And then people just think you're lazy, even though you know you aren't. You know that's not the issue. But how can you say otherwise, right? Because you're not doing anything. And it's quite sad because, once upon a time I had all these I wanted to just share my work. And now I just don't care. I just stopped caring about everything. And even when you go out to ask for help, you are quite literally told, as I was, you're taking up space of people who actually want to get help. And, just makes you feel even better. Has anyone figured out a way to overcome this? Because it's paralyzing. It's utterly paralyzing. Like, I'm doing this just to say that I'm doing something. And I hate that it means so little to me. I'm just trying to fill empty spaces in life. Much like I'm trying to fill the empty spaces in these circles. You only have so many patterns. And what do you do when it feels like none of the patterns are good enough to put in the image? existing for the sake of existing. Is that even a good reason? Maybe. But how do you go on when you're so exhausted? When you get tired of existing? How do you find the strength to continue to exist? That's the question. Now, didn't that turn out depressing, huh? Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, we'll do lines here. Imperfect ones. Why? Because the other ones are so perfect. Well, even less perfect ones. Why? It's an odd feeling when you go to a certain place where they are meant to help you mentally, and you're told that you're taking up the space of someone who actually wants to get help. I'm not sure how to feel about that because, I mean, in a way, they are correct. Do I really want help? Or am I just trying to find a reason? I envy people who want things. Who actually want things. You know, they can't rest until they achieve these things. I envy that a lot. Oh, stressful. I don't like that one. Oh, 37% battery. I have my tea right here next to me and I haven't even touched it. Like, you know it's bad when I forget my tea and it's right next to me. And it's so nice too. Kind of sucks that I can't listen to music while I do this. Now that would have been extra relaxing. Thing is, the music I want to listen to is not copyright free. I don't like this one. What else do I do? Hmm. My iPad's really, really hot. I had thought about making 4-hour-long live streams, but honestly, it's always after about 2 hours that my iPad kind of starts screaming, stop, stop. I think I'm gonna finish filling these in, and then I'm going to end the stream. I wonder, because while I do want to become good at art, you know, what I actually do is I'm a writer, first and foremost. I wonder if anyone would find it interesting to see me brainstorm in real time. I have a project that I really don't hold too close to my heart. Oh, that makes it sound like I hate the project. That's not the case. It's just, you know, we writers, we are very protective of our stories. We never want to reveal them until they are ready to be revealed. But there's one that I actually wouldn't mind sharing. That's what I meant, that I don't hold it too close to my heart, so I'm not too afraid that people will judge it. So yes, I'm going to end the stream here. If you've watched the whole thing, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And, well, let's hope that next stream I am a bit more talkative. And again, thank you very much for watching.